Hi, welcome to Writing Comics. I'm Jerry, and this is the Skits team. We have them here today to talk about Skits, the Sun. Hey guys, this is Karshana and Michael.
Hey guys, how are you out there?
Hey there, man. We're excited to be here. This is going to be a great night, and we're just looking forward to getting it going.
And it's Karshina.
Karshina. We get the pronunciation right. I'm not good at pronouncing anything, so especially names.
That's okay.
I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. No. You at least you were like 98.9%. That's the best anyone has done.
That's all right. He says it better than I can.
Yeah, that's true.
I got a boss man. He talks about being sure. He'll ask you, "Are you sure?" And the normal answer is, I'm 99% sure. So he always goes like, "So you're 1% unsure." It's kind of a to make sure you got everything right. He tries to give me a hard time. So, but yeah, Skits the Sun. You guys have a great looking campaign. It is just beautiful. I'm just sharing my screen so we can go ahead and get into it.
Thank you so much. And we just want to say thanks everyone out there. You've been a great big supporter from the beginning. Yes. You predicted some big funds, so we thank you for that prediction. We're very blessed to have what we have already so far, so we're very blessed for that.
Let me explain the avatars right quick. We in the South, apparently we can't get internet. It's like it plagues the South for some reason. I know that you guys have problem with y'all sometimes, and mine is terrible at the house. I just happen to be in a Hampton tonight in the hotel working, so I happen to have good internet tonight. But I can't even stream at the house, so it kind of affects my flow. But that's why we got the avatars up, is just to help with the load on the internet. So, but we will be sharing the campaign.
Yeah.
Right now.
Thank you. And I think also because of everyone is on the computers, you know what I mean, during this time anyway. So I think it's just weighing the world down.
This lockdown is just killing us. Yeah. It's like where we live, it's the same thing too. All the internet and everything else is just
being sucked up.
Even our cell phones are terrible right now. And it's probably just because of the massive load of everyone being here, I guess. I don't know, being home.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's prime time. And the big companies, they start throttling if you used a lot of data. They'll throttle and they'll prioritize for people that haven't. So, but it is what it is. We're gonna make it through. We're gonna talk about Skits. Y'all are doing an amazing job. Y'all have done great on this book. You have a beautiful campaign. The artwork is amazing.
We appreciate that. I mean, we did a lot of really hard work to get it to where it is. This isn't just some fly-by-night thing. We've been working for 6 to 9 months just to get this campaign up and going, and finally we're here where we can actually present something to a bunch of people. So we're happy with what we got, and we think people are pretty happy with what we presented to them.
Yeah, Preston told me that it's art in itself to produce a campaign, and it really is, because I started working on the back end of mine, and it's a lot of work gathering all the assets that you need, all the promotional material that you need. So, but y'all's page, your Indiegogo page itself looks beautiful.
Thank you so much. I mean, it is an art form, and the fact of the matter is that what people don't understand is you put up your pictures, your tears, all the wording, you still miss something. You still say, I should have put this here, and you go back and you edit. So it's just always a learning process. So we'll know what to do for the next time.
Yeah, and Karshina, she's the one who built this whole thing. I mean, all I did is supply all the imagery. She roughed it all in, got it all there, and then I was like, okay, here, we need to put some imagery here, here, and here. But, I mean, pretty much she just did the whole thing, so it was great having her to do that.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and Indiegogo doesn't make it very easy. It's kind of clumsy, the back end. If you have
the interface is very not user friendly.
It's terrible.
It's very
terrible.
archaic, and I can see why people, whatever their situations may be, I can see why people choose Kickstarter because that platform's been around forever. It's got a nice little streamline to it, and but you just can't do once you're done, or if you didn't get funded, you don't get, whatever. At least Indiegogo, even though it's archaic in a way, it still allows you to do a little bit more. But other than that, everything is very basic. Like click here. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, a lot of times they give you sizes for your images for placement and stuff like that. And the sizes aren't even correct to what you need for what they're saying. Like they'll say, okay, you need a 600 by 800 image. And then you put that in and it ain't right. You got to keep playing around until you figure out exactly the size that you need. Like I'd sit there, I'd make like 5 or 6 of them until I got one that actually fit in properly, and I just had to figure it out on my own as to what exactly that size was. I mean, it's really silly, to be perfectly honest with you, with a website as big as it is.
I wish you hadn't told me that, because right now I'm in the process of gathering assets and getting them to size, cutting them down in Photoshop or cutting out characters and that kind of thing. And now I'm like, oh no, I might have to go back and punt. But we're not here to talk about Indiegogo. We're here to talk about Skits, the campaign. So you want to give us the sales pitch, the elevator pitch?
Sure. What Skits is a book about a guy who can't tell the difference between his dreams and reality. Now, where this came from is 20 years ago, I was working at a TV station, and I was working the graveyard shift, midnight to 8 a.m., and my days and nights started to meld together, and I started having these sequential dreams. Every day they would start up where the day before ended. So it's like for 2 months I was having these sequential dreams, so I started documenting them, writing them down, and 20 years later, here we are actually with a campaign, a book about those actual dreams that I wrote down and had 20 years ago. So we're really excited to be putting it out there for people. It's been a long time coming.
Mm-hmm.
And you have some support behind it. You guys are up to $9,101, and that's not the end. You guys are going to go much higher. You got 17 days left, 93 backers. So people are really getting behind your book. You got a lot of momentum behind you. Yeah, that's great for our first book.
Yeah, we're only 2 weeks in, of our first 30 days, and we'll probably do another 30 days, and then we'll go in demand. For us, because this is our first project ever, it's going to be a slow burn where, 6 months from now, even when we start to ship the books to people and stuff like that, we're still going to keep our Indiegogo in demand store open. That way people can still buy it, because once people get these things in their hands and they start reading it, we think there'll be a big upswell then of interest in the book just because of the unique experience we're given to them. And then people will get word out and we'll be able to sell more. So then when we roll into issue number 2, we'll still have that first Indiegogo on demand so people can still keep buying. So we're actually going to order a bunch more than what actually is made so we can keep fulfilling those orders.
Exactly.
So let's play the trailer, and then we'll talk more about the layout you guys got here with the you did something a little different, and I want to talk about that after we watch the trailer.
Sure. All right.
Man, I'm really loving that watercolor, color pencil, um, over ink type look that you guys have going on with this book.
Yeah, I mean, we got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I mean, it's actually not colored pencils or watercolor or nothing. I mean, it's all digital and scanned concept art type stuff that I do, or non-representational art rather. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty. um, what do you have? All right, so you guys are doing something a little different. You're doing a 3 book variant cover type format. So go ahead and explain that to. I know you've explained it a dozen times, but for those who may not have seen you guys anywhere else, can you explain that for us?
Sure. What we got here is we got 3 books. There's 3 different covers, and there's 3 variant stories going on in these things. So this is something that's just really, really special. You know, no one else out there is doing this. So we're just super excited to be able to present it, and it's also in a signed and numbered skits band that wraps around the 3 books. So we're just super excited by that.
So when you say it's 3 different stories, from what I've seen on other streams, it's like from a different. It's the same story, but from different perspectives. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's just yeah, what we've done is we've taken 45 different panels and 12 different pages of art and stretched it across the 3 books in order to make variant stories. You know, we have one book gives you a little bit of story this way, another book gives you a little story that way and that way. So it's like you can read just one and you get a complete story, but if you get the other 2 books, you'll notice a lot of differences between panels and different pages, and you're just like, wow, where's all this different story coming from? So it's the same story, but just giving a few different things going on in it.
I got you. This go ahead and explain this first tier for us.
Sure. That's the 3 book journey. That's the 3 books. They got 3 different covers with 3 variant stories, and it's wrapped in a signed and numbered skits band. You know, this is something that's done on high end art in the art world, where you'll have like a $200-300 book, and it'll have that. They're called belly bands in the industry. They wrap them around there. They're signed and numbered. They're real nice. So this is something that we actually wanted to bring to our comic book that's unique and different than anything anyone else is doing.
Yeah, it's cool. I thought about stealing that idea, and but it's different than a trading card. You know, it's kind of like everybody's doing trade cards,
Yeah.
and then you guys come out with this belly band, and it's like, man, that was a good idea. You guys nailed it on that.
Well,
Thank you.
I'm a product developer by trade, so I'm always looking for ways to stand out and do things differently. You know, the last thing I want to do is just copy what everyone else is doing. So our whole campaign is basically that in a nutshell, where we're trying to do just different and stand out.
And we just want to make sure that it's exciting for everyone, you know, like have something new and, you know, be that new shiny car on the car room floor, you know, like, ooh, you know, and, you know, just have something really different for everyone and of quality too.
Yeah, it looks like it's of great quality. All right, so I'm gonna this cover right here. This is the Michael Siegenthaler cover. So that's you, and
That's my cover.
that's yours. And then we have, but we have 2 other covers, and this is uh, Patrick Reynolds, and that's a man.
Yep.
That is so cool, dude. It's like you're looking into a dream, just like your book. I mean, y'all nailed everything. Y'all nailed the covers. Y'all nailed the art style. It it looks like you're looking into a dream.
Yeah, I mean, Patrick Reynolds, I've been following his work for probably about 8 years. I've been buying his original art pieces. You know, he's done work for Aliens, for Mike Magnolia Universe, Hellboy and all that. He's also done Mask. He's done a bunch of really cool stuff, and his technique that he does for his covers is an old illustrative technique from the 60s and 70s. Not too many people use this style anymore. And it's something that I learned in college as well. And I've actually utilized with a lot of my stuff. So for me, it was like right up my alley. I was like, this guy does his work in a fashion that I would do my work. So I knew that his stuff would work really well with ours.
Yeah, and then we have that's Patrick, and then we have Kent Williams.
Yeah,
Correct. That's the legend right there.
Kent
Yeah.
Williams, man, he hasn't done anything in the industry in probably about 15 years since Darren Aronofsky's The Fountain, and I mean he's one of my favorite all time comic book artists, painter artists in the industry. So in order to get him on board on this thing, I mean that was just like huge, and Karshina was the one that made that happen. She contacted him, and I wasn't even going to contact him because I didn't think that he would actually say yes or anything. But bam, there you go. 15 years not doing comic book art, and we got him. So.
And we're really excited to have him because we can now say he's a new acquaintance, a new friend. Yeah. Because we talked to him, he gave us his phone number, was like, hey, just give me a call. We're calling and texting him and, streaming with them, over Skype calls. And he's really cool and just really down to earth. And one of the things that he said that he really enjoyed about it was Michael's art. Now to have a legend say, wow, I really enjoyed your art and I like the story. That's something to really, for Michael to be accomplished about, because I mean, it's like this person's been doing it for years and, has worked with like everyone under the sun. And for him to notice, it's just like, wow, thanks. That's a huge compliment,
Yeah, that is a huge compliment. And it's one of those things where you just kind of like, you hear it and you just kind of like in your own private, space, you just kind of run around in a circle with excitement,
Oh, trust me, Michael did. Yeah. He did. Trust me, he did.
I did that Homer Simpson thing, where he lays down on the floor and he runs in a circle on the floor, it's on his side,
Oh, yes.
Yeah. But if you go to Kent's art and then you look over here at Michael's, they're very similar. The color wash and everything, it's nice, man. Y'all have a nice comic. So concept art, or is it in the book?
What exactly are you looking at right there?
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, my screen's a little bit behind you, so I was waiting for it to update.
It's okay. It says Southern Internet.
So I know exactly. So here's the deal with all that stuff. Originally, when I created these pieces for the book, it was just meant to be concept art to kind of show off what we were going to be doing in the book. And so many people liked it. We were like, okay, we'll just, put it into the story. I mean, it is made specifically for the story, and it is scenes from the story. So there's no reason why we can't put it in there and integrate it into the overall book. So that's what we did.
Yeah, this is why when we were on your show the last time, Jerry, we were like, oh, we can't really explain too much, and we can only give you this, and we can only show you the concept pieces. And you're like, come on, y'all. Y'all can do it. Yeah. You can give me a little bit of pointers. Now you see it, so now you see why everything was kept under wraps. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to. You can only release so much information. That's what me and a Shay Zombie or Red Valkyrie, we had a stream the other night. We was talking about or I was talking about the perception. You can only release so much so that people get perception is reality, and you want people to get the idea of the book, or you want people to get the feel of the book. If you release the wrong information at the wrong time, I'm nervous about releasing the wrong information at the wrong time and giving people, I don't know. It's just it's hard to know what to release and what not to release, and what to talk about, what not to talk about, without giving the whole story away.
And that's why we say you have to sell the sizzle. It's bacon cooking back there. It's going to be good, but you don't know how good. You got to sell the sizzle.
Okay, there's a guy that works that has a barbecue place where I normally work at on my normal job, and he's got a giant bull out there, and all he burns on that bull is like it's an oven is what it is. It's a gas powered oven, and all he burns on it is wood.
Mm-hmm.
He'll put wood in belly and let it burn before lunch, so you get that smell out there of that wood cooking, that wood burning, and it draws people in. It really is.
Yeah.
You gotta whet their appetite.
Yep.
But you guys have done
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You guys have done
Well,
it.
see, that's something that I always wondered about. That's something that I've always wondered about Burger King. Burger King, if you ever pass by a place, they have that big smokestack coming out the top. Now, you know they ain't cooking that good of food in there, but there's something about that smokestack coming out of there that makes you go, man, that's going to be some good burgers right there.
Flame broil. You know
Yeah.
the king is back.
It's a reflex. It's a triggered reflex. So you smell that sizzle and that meat cooking, and you just want to dig in. And I think people want to dig into this book. This is the page I really liked. It looks like when I looked at it last time, did you add a little color wash behind there?
Yeah. So what this is? No. You're right. What it is when I was originally showing it, it was just a black and white image, and I just got started on coloring it, and I was at a point where I was like, okay, well, we can show it like this with a little bit of color. I still got a long ways to go on it, but why not show people process work? It's like, this looks awesome. I mean, it looks better than most stuff out there, so might as well give it to them.
Yeah, it definitely looks good. And this, man, I love the way you use that white space, that negative space, to just kind of pull you up to Skits on the ledge there.
Yeah, and of course we have Boot and Chair. That's there. Those are our two characters as well. So we have a character called Boot and a character called Chair.
Yeah, and what it is right here is I wanted to do kind of a classic illustration style. And this is another one. I got 3 different art styles I'll be working with in this book. You got this style right here. You got traditional like panel pencils and inks and stuff like that. And then you also got the concept style. So those are going to be the 3 different styles that are working in this book. And we'll change it up from scene to scene to kind of get a different flair and flavor, kind of like what you'd get in a Dave McKean book in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see how you tied all those things together. Because there's always the possibility that when you start experimenting, there's always the possibility that you could mess up, or it wouldn't go over well. So, but you don't have that to worry about. From what I've seen, it's everything looks perfect.
Oh, well, we really appreciate that. I mean, I'm just trying to do the best I can here, so we'll just see how people take it. I mean, I think most people have seen enough of my work, though, to be like, okay, I'm confident that whatever he puts out is going to be excellent work.
Yeah. So you don't have to worry about that. I mean, if Mr. Kent Williams likes it.
Exactly.
Let's talk about your $25 tier number 2. I guess the second tier down. I don't know if I know you guys are just a little bit behind me, so I don't know if you're if it's there yet. But the Skits, your cover.
Well, yeah. So what we got is we got the 3 covers there. We got the 3-book journey that you can buy, and then underneath that you got all the individual covers. You got my cover, Kent Williams, and Patrick Reynolds. Now you can buy all those individually, or if say you want 2 of them, you can just pick one, and then on the back end you can add whatever other cover that you want to get for no additional shipping.
Okay, for those who are not mathematically challenged like I am, you can get all 3 books, and it's like $10 cheaper than the 3-book package. But what makes this different that you don't? Just explain to us what makes this different. I mean, I think I see what it is, but I'm just gonna let you explain why this is just a little bit more for 3 books.
Well, the reason why it's a little bit more is because you get that signed and numbered Skits band around it. I mean, that's what's really special about it. You know, you get this is the only way you can get anything signed from me or signed and numbered. Well, you can get artwork, and that's some of the later tiers. You can buy that type of stuff. That'll be signed. But this is the only way you can get the book signed. And we thought we'd do something special, making it a 3-book deal as a signed and numbered deal. So, you know,
so that way you can just complete the journey instead of just getting one. Each book is a standalone. So like we said before, if you can just only get just the one book, that's great. You read it and you would have, you know, followed the journey with Skits. But for the 3 books, this one is where you get the whole entire story all together. And also, just real quickly, if anyone still remembers their email on the email list, we were able to do that as well. And the Skits band was at a discount. The 3-book journey was at a discount, but it also gave you a hand-drawn Skits band. So that was also unique as well.
Yeah, that was a great perk for being on the email list and then ordering the book. And you know, that's so none of these 3 books you can get signed unless you buy the 3-book tier. And it looks like that's what people are going for, because, you know, I'm looking at the numbers on the tiers here, and you got 37 people who've bought into the 3-book journey, and then it's just kind of the other folks bought into you know, the single books, but it's not very many. So I think everybody.
Well, on the back end, that's where you have the secret perks. So people really enjoyed being on that mailing list, because that's why we always pushed, you know, in the beginning, get on the mailing list. So those numbers are not shown on the front end, but on the back end, yeah, those numbers are higher because people really want to have that original hand-drawn Skits band versus the regular Skits band.
Yeah, and also here's the thing about signatures. Signatures on a book used to be something that was really high end and special. Nowadays, a lot of people are just like, oh, if you get to a certain amount of money, I'll just sign all of them. Well, it's like, well, then it's not very special now, is it? If all the books are signed. Yeah. I mean, the special one's going to be whatever books end up not being signed. So we want to, you know, having a signature on the book from the creator, we want that to actually mean something.
Yeah, it's not special if it's not rare.
Exactly.
And then the Skits Asylum sign-in, $125. So can you original sketch plus the Sunbook 1 cover of your choice. And then you have.
So what this is right here is exactly what it says. You get you actually. One of the things I always hate is like you get these books and you have this wonderful drawing on the inside cover or something like that of the book, and I was like, man, I don't like that. You know, it's like I want to be able to pull that drawing out and hang it up or something. So we were like, okay, let's do the drawing, a nice big sketch on a piece of paper, shove it in the book. That way they can either keep it in the book or they can pull it out and do whatever they want with it, hang it up like I would. So that's that one right there.
And then we got the Skits Dream Jump with the sequential art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the sequential art is exactly what it says. It's a page of 11 by 17 original art from the book, sequentials, and it's either pencils, ink, pencils and ink, pencils, inked, and paint. It can have all sorts of stuff on there. But again, you get to choose which book you want to go with it. And on the back end, you can add the other 2 books and turn it into a 3-book journey with the signed and numbered edition there, with only paying for the extra 2 books and no extra shipping on it. So that's actually a cool way to get all of that.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing artists give away their, not give away, I shouldn't say give away, but sell their sequential art too often. That was a rare thing at one time too. You'd have to know somebody or get in
Yep.
Quick to get it, or it just wasn't as so. Yeah, I think $300, man, and you get all 3 books. You get the band, the signed band, and you get the sequential art. So, what determines whether it's painted or inked or just pencils? Is that just is it just random on your sequential art?
Well, one thing we gotta say is it only comes with one book. But what we're saying is in the background, after you can do an add-on for an
Oh,
extra
okay.
50
Yeah, I got
bucks and get the 3-book journey. Yeah, with no added shipping. That's the perk on that one if you do it that way. But it's just random whether or not it comes as just pencils or pencils and ink and penciled inks and paint, because it's just the way I do the work. And sometimes you end up with one thing, sometimes you end up with another. So it's pretty random.
Artist choice.
Yeah, it's just my
Yeah.
choice, whatever
Yeah.
I have. And I got a ton of pages. We're doing 60 pages. So
I got you. Yeah, you told me that. You told me how it worked one time, and it went over my head, I guess. Skits the reality blur.
So Skits the reality blur is so you can actually be drawn into the book. Now you can become anything you want. You can be like a bum on the street. You can be someone who's helping out Skits, like we got right there in the image. You can be like Wanger. We were on his channel, and he was like, "Man, I want to be a building." I was like, "We can make it happen. Whatever you want, we can make it happen. All we need is just an image of your face, so we can actually get you in there."
Yeah, that's it's always unique when you get drawn into a book. I know a lot of people get excited about it. Skits orderly capture.
So this right here is a splash page of art. Again, it's 11 by 17 or bigger. It'll be pencils or pencils and ink, pencil inks and paints. I mean, it can be anything. Plus you get a book. And again, in the background, you can add on the other 2 books and get that 3-book journey with no added shipping.
Pretty self-explanatory. Skits set sail.
Yep.
Sail away, sail away, sail away.
So the Skits set sail is actually a double page spread of artwork, and we only got 5 of these, and these are actually really special. Instead of doing 2 11 by 17 pieces of paper that are taped up the middle, that's usually what you get for a double page spread from a comic book artist. We're doing ours on one piece of 20 by 30 archival art paper, so that you have one nice big piece of paper with the drawing on it, and it's 20 by 30. I mean, that's way bigger than 2 11 by 17s together. That's just 22 by 17 right there. So this is a really, really nice thing that you can hang up on your wall. Plus it comes with the 3-book journey, all for one price.
All right, moving on. We got the straight jacket. Some of us might need the straight jacket. I've seen Michael wear one.
Yeah, the straight jacket tier is awesome, man. I mean, you get a real, honest-to-goodness straight jacket. None of that junk that you get at the costume store.
At the Halloween shop.
Yeah, the Halloween shop, whatever. This is a real, honest-to-God straight jacket, and it comes signed and numbered with an 8-inch tag that I'm going to hand draw for people. There's only 5 of them. They come in 4 different sizes, too: small, medium, large, extra large. So you get that, plus you get a page of sequential art, plus you get the 3-book journey. So you get all of that for one price. That's for your ultra fans right there.
I got you. For those fans that need that, gotta have it.
That's for you, Jerry.
Straight jacket. I don't know. I'm kind of mild mannered. I don't know if I need the straight jacket, but that is what a crazy person would say. They would say they weren't crazy, right?
That's right. That's right.
So, you guys want to take a break and play a game?
Sure.
Sure,
All right.
Jerry.
Since we're talking about being crazy, I'm going to share my screen again. And what's going to happen is, since we're talking about crazy, we're talking about skits, we're talking about the insane asylum. What you probably didn't know is that I am not a psychologist. I don't have a degree in any kind of psychology, but I do have some ink blots. So what we're going to do is I'm going to share my screen. Some ink blots are going to show up, and the 3 of us are going to tell the world what we see.
Okay, let's
Nice.
do it.
Got to find it. Oh, there it is.
Well, I don't see anything first. So that part of the game.
Let's see if I can find myself. Oh, there it is. Can you guys see it?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who wants to go first?
Let's let Michael go first.
Okay. So I got to tell you what I see. I see a couple of chicken heads that are like back to back. That's what I see.
Yeah, I can see that. Karshina?
I also see two bones of somebody's head, something maybe prehistoric as like a double. So I see that. I don't know if they're chickens, but there's some type of bones, prehistoric.
I just saw chickens.
I think I see. Well, you've got a thing for chickens, I think, because it's just some of the artwork.
Oh yeah.
But I see like
He sees chicken heads.
He's seeing chickens everywhere. He might need that straight jacket. You might want to keep it. I got
plenty of them.
I understand. I see like if you were to look straight on at like a grasshopper, like you're looking straight on face to face with a grasshopper. I think that's what.
Yeah, I see that. I see that.
All right, let's move on to the next one. If I can find my tab here. All right, here we go. All right.
Oh, I see two people coming together like in a confab, and they have like these cute little I don't know, like sort of like a whirling dervish sort of type of hats that they used to have like in Turkey, but they're like sitting down together. They're butting their heads together, maybe in prayer, or maybe they're just talking about something.
I see like I can see that. I see what you're talking about, but I'm thinking like cone heads, like Dan Aykroyd, from the from the early '80s.
Yeah. I see a cow's face, like it's pointing straight at you. It's looking dead at you. That looks like a cow's face.
I think it looks like a kind of like a deer. Have you, if it kind of looks like a deer, like in the mud, like he stepped in the mud and his paw or hoof, whatever a deer has, spread.
Yeah.
The hoof.
The hoof.
Yep. Yeah, I could see that.
All right. First takers.
I feel like this is like a dog or some type of animal with their tongue out. And they're just like, ah.
Well,
Yeah.
I see one of those Chinese kitty cats, that always do that face with the one paw up. That's what I see. I see one of them Chinese cats that you always see at the Chinese restaurants with the paw up.
Yeah, but it's just always like with their tongue out and they're like this. Yeah, with the
but thing. I mean, you said like a dog or something. I see a cat.
It's just a
cat. It's a thunder cat.
Yeah, it looks like I can see the animal in the mouth. It kind of looks like a royal lion or something from like a crest or something. I can see it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to the next one. Do the next one. I got a few of them. I don't know which direction. This direction. Nope, no one there. Oh, my started in the middle. Hold on. Let's see.
I was like, we're back there again.
No, we haven't done that one.
Yeah, we haven't done that one yet. I guess I'll go first this time. I've been letting you guys go first. I see like a drone. Like a small drone.
Yeah, drone. Yeah.
Okay. I see a rabbit face. It's like a rabbit.
I see something with like little earrings dangling down on the side. Like someone's got earrings dangling down.
Yep. I see it. There's a lot of animals when you start looking at these ink blots. I think people are just, I don't know, they're prone to seeing animals.
Yeah.
What you got, Karshina?
I got like two monkeys standing on top of a mountain. It seems like they're like right on the edge.
I see two busts, like those old sculpture busts, and you got two faces that are looking at each other. That's what I'm seeing.
Is it Buster Rhymes?
No, it's like some Disney characters.
I know. I see what you're talking about. It kind of looks like when you said bust, it started making me think of that woman where you turn it one way and it looks like a woman, and then you turn it the other way, it looks like the old lady.
Yeah.
It looks like
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like, to me, it looks like the elephants from the Lion King, like when they did the musical number and they were standing on each other and lifting each other up.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, I
didn't
see
see
that.
the Lion King.
Well, I know what he's talking about because they've done in other things like Fantasia and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've
We did it
seen
in
the
Fantasia.
Lion King.
Yeah, I haven't seen The Lion King. Yeah.
Really? That's an interesting little tidbit of information. I thought everybody in the world had seen the Lion King.
Everybody in the world has seen Lion King.
I
but
gotta
Michael.
be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of Disney cartoons, to be perfectly honest with you. Like, they've just never been something that I've liked, except for maybe the Winnie the Pooh cartoons, the Goofy, Donald Duck is cool, but I mean they're big movie cartoons. I've just never been.
In other words, he's saying he doesn't like musicals.
Yeah, I don't like musicals.
Do not watch Into the Woods if you don't like musicals, because I sat there for like 30 minutes and they were still on the first song, and I literally looked at my wife and I was like, "Is this the whole movie?" And then
Into the woods, into the woods.
Yep, you know it. And I was like, "Really?"
I know it.
Yeah. Did you make it all the way through?
No,
Oh yeah, I mean I was in that musical, so yeah, I know all about that musical. Everyone does that musical in high school or college. Yes, Into the Woods, Into the Woods.
Nice.
I can't stand it.
All right, Michael.
Oh boy, what do we got here? Looks like some sort of tribal something with a little skull right in the middle. Like maybe it's a big shield with a skull in the middle with a couple of ducks looking over the top of the skull. That's what I see.
You wanted to say chickens and you changed it to ducks, didn't you?
No, they look like ducks. They look like little ducks, like a rubber duckies at the top.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. I see I don't know if y'all know the willow tree like figurines. Like if you look right in the middle, it looks like the carved wood. Like right in the middle, it looks like a husband and wife maybe looking at each other, like saying their vows, and then it looks like maybe a flower collage around them. To me,
I see that.
Mm-hmm. I see two samurai hiding out with two cat o' nine tails on each side. They're just waiting. Like they're just waiting to like strike, but I see that.
all right, who wants to take this one?
I think Karshina wants this one.
I see two sumo wrestlers about to go head to head, but they're turned around.
I see it.
A little cross in the middle.
I see what you're talking about. I do see that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I see a crown, almost like a laurel leaf crown, but made out of gold or something like that you're going to place on someone's head. So.
I see like a face in the middle. It's like somebody holding their arms up to make a circle on their eyes with both hands. And then they're
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. It's almost like a tiara. Is it getting smaller, Jerry?
Yeah.
Jerry.
Hey, I just snagged them, all right?
This one looks like a butterfly to me. Yeah, it looks like a butterfly.
Yeah.
I actually see, the women that used to wear the ties of those old like 18th century dresses, like in those type of style. I see that where they had like the tie for the women that they would have that would come down. That's what I see.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see it. It looks to me like two old ladies standing back to back with like they both have like strong jaws, and then maybe smoking a cigarette, like older,
Uh,
like from the 20s or something.
I
okay.
got you.
All right, this is our last one.
You take it, Jerry.
All right, it looks like it looks like something Skits would have drawn while sitting in his cell with makeshift ink. So as soon as you guys tell me what y'all see, we'll get back to the campaign.
Well, it looks like a mask to me. It looks like a mask. There's a mouth there in the middle that's, almost like the Ultimate Warrior's paint or something like that. But it just looks like a mask to me.
I see two cats on the side looking at a bird right in the middle, about to eat it. There's like a little pond on the bottom. I really see that.
Yeah, like on a, I see what you're talking about. It's like on a, maybe a bird fountain or something, a bird bath.
Yes, yes, like a bird bath.
Yep, I see it. It looks more like I'm with Michael. To me, it looks like a mask, and somebody just used like press their face up against a piece of glass, and they use the negative space or the imprint their face made on the glass. I don't know that, but yeah. All right, let me get back to the right tab here. I can't keep up with the tabs. Uh, Skits the sun. So, all right. The good question is, you got a lot of hype behind you guys. You got a lot of support. You got comic book artists bragging on you. How does that feel when you go from you've worked, and then all of a sudden there's the payoff, and people are giving you or supporting you and helping you to get your book done? It's got to feel good.
Yeah, it's like an elation that we can actually finally talk about the campaign now. Like we mentioned before, there was just so much that we held back, and now you can actually see it. And we've been sending out sketches and stuff like that, like on our social accounts, and so people are like, "Oh, okay, this is interesting. We're intrigued," and then now they actually see it. Now people are like, "Well, I like this idea too," or "I had this idea before. I wish I would have, followed through, and you guys did." And we're like, "Yeah, we're really excited."
I think one of the big things is we've done a lot of different stuff with our campaign, and I think there's a few people that don't really understand. They're just kind of dumbfounded. They're like, "Whoa, whoa, what are you doing? Like, aren't you just supposed to do what everyone else does?" And it's like, no. This is a comic book. For a cheap amount of money, you can do whatever the heck you want. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to do all sorts of craziness, because that's what Skits is all about. Just silliness, craziness, and fun. And it's nice that people have really, hopped on board at the beginning, but we still got a long way to go. And I'm just excited to get through the work, to be perfectly honest with you, because we got a lot more of the book to do. We got about a third of it done, but there's still a lot more work to be done, and it'll be fun just going through the process.
Well, now you're going through the process, and before you were going through the process, you really didn't know what the support level would be. But now when you're going through it, you know that there's people out there supporting you. So does that make it easier for you? It's kind of like, well, let me rephrase that. It's kind of like working in seclusion. You're working, you're behind closed doors. You can't put any of the work out there, and then all of a sudden, now you've got people that's coming in and supporting you.
Yeah, it's definitely good. I mean, it's nice to be able to put up an image on Twitter and have get 40, 50 likes by the end of the day. That's always really nice. But I've always done this work in seclusion and haven't really showed too many people, and I enjoy just doing it. So for me, it's just a bonus. It's just a really good bonus.
Yeah, and for me as the editor and co-writer, I'm just really excited to put out help put out a great story to go along with the great art. Because I mean, you can't. There's always a balance that you have to always fight with, because the art is so good, but you don't want people to miss the journey. And then once people go through the journey, you don't want them to miss the art, which they won't. But it's always like a nice little balance, to help out with that. So, and remember, these are from Michael's dreams, 20 years ago. So all these things are exactly what you get.
Yeah, and you guys at some point, 9 months ago, a year ago, looked at each other and said, "Are we going to do it? Yeah, we're going to do it." So, and then you start down this journey of making this comic book. So, man, I'm glad I got to meet you guys in the process and just be a part of Skits and helping to get the word out there about it. And you guys are like the Comicsgate power couple. You see these two come into the high school dance. They're going to win prom king and prom queen. You guys are great together. You work great together.
Jerry, that's so sweet. That's
way
awesome.
Too much. Thank you. We appreciate that.
We appreciate that.
Yeah. That's
but I'll take it. But I'll take it.
Yeah, it is. You guys are great together. You work great together, and y'all have produced something beautiful together. So that's something to be proud of. Working as a married couple, working on anything together. If you're not married, you don't understand the struggle. So sometimes it can be. For me, it is anyway. For me and my wife, sometimes we struggle with it, and then sometimes everything comes together just beautifully. So
it does. That's why in the South, the saying: "You see the glory, but you don't know the story."
Yeah, and then there's them Southern girls don't back down either. So it's not like you're gonna raise your voice and they're just gonna cower in the corner or something. If you're gonna raise your voice, you gotta expect to be. You have to expect to take it back,
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
but it's good though. But it's actually a really good outlet that we're doing this together, and we've got 5 other books after this, so we're just hoping that this goes as smooth as it's gone so far, and it continue. And we've got other books for people, and once people get these in their hands, man, people are going to be like, wow, I'm so glad I backed them early. I'm so glad that I supported them early, because this is something truly, different and real that, I can't wait to, get 6 jobs, 8 jobs to make sure that these are funded,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. What the difference between like the indie crowd and the mainstream is, our projects are passion projects. For most of us, they're passion products. They're stories that we have in our head. It's going to get made, one way or the other. The only difference is, will other people get to see it? That's the way I feel about my book. It's going to get made one way or the other. It's just I want to bring other people on board and allow other people to read what I wrote, because that's the reason I'm writing it, so other people can see it. But for me, it's a passion project, and I've heard you guys talk about it a lot, and I know it is for you guys too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, definitely for me. I mean, I've been sitting around with this for 20 plus years, so there you go. I mean, there's nothing more passionate about working on something for 20 years.
It's a passion fruit.
So, and it's coming to fruition. So that's the
very good, Jerry.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. It's that 3rd grade education. I just scroll through the campaign here, looking at the sequentials. We didn't look at the sequentials yet, because that was something that I asked you, if you guys remember, in the last stream. I asked you, I said, are we going to get to see any sequential art? Because we hadn't seen any before now. I think before y'all put your campaign up, I don't think any other sequential art was released, was it?
No, it wasn't.
No.
You're absolutely right, Jerry. And so when people finally saw this, they're like, we're like, yeah, he can actually draw people. We've been showing you art. We know it. Now you get to see what it looks like. So, yeah, very proud of him. These look really great. And if you look at that explosion scene, I mean, just the color alone on that, and like it just looks like it's real, and flags flying everywhere. So,
and it's not easy to make a drawing of a person look uh, limp like that either, because it's hard to make a drawing of a person look relaxed, I guess is the word you could use, because they always seem, an amateur would make a person look stiff, so I'm pretty
Yeah.
impressed by the pose you got going on there.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, you just, well, I don't know. You just do the best you can. You just gotta practice and practice and practice. Practice makes perfect.
the flags. I asked you last stream about the flags. Still no information on those?
Nope. You have to read the book.
Nope.
Gotta read the
Sorry,
book.
Jerry.
Gotta read the book. You got to get it to find out what the story's about.
Yep.
That's a very interesting character with the mask, the half mask.
Mm-hmm. So the whole team up on Michael's cover, I mean, he has MC, which is the big guy, Skits, of course, with the straight jacket and scrubs. That's Hattie Mae. So Kent Williams did one of Hattie Mae and of Skits. And then we have Josephine, and then we also have Psalm. So that is the Skits team.
Okay. I can't wait to see how they interact with each other.
Oh yeah.
And then
there's a lot of stuff going on in this book, man. It's a page turner for sure.
And then pinup. Is this all right? Tell me who this is again with the stars on the knees.
That's Josephine.
Okay. And I'm trying to figure out. Oh, okay, I see. All right, so if we want the best deal we can get, which of these tiers should we back? I know which one it is.
Best deal yeah. It's the featured tier for sure. I mean, that's why you make it the featured tier. I mean, you get all 3 books with the 3 different covers with the 3 variant stories. I mean, that's the best deal you can get, all wrapped in that Skits band, signed and numbered. It's the best possible thing you can get, and that's the thing that we've sold the most of. So there you go.
Skits, the 3-book journey. Yeah, that's a unique idea. That is a unique idea. I can't speak. I told you I couldn't pronounce words, but it's a unique idea. And, the belly wrap. If you signed up for the email, you were told you should have signed up for the email. You would got the hand drawn belly wrap. But if you didn't sign up for the email, you can still get a belly wrap that's signed and numbered by Michael.
There you go.
Exactly. And the cool thing about that is that the email, and we know it's been a long time, but the email, it doesn't end. There's no expiration date until the very end of the campaign. So
yeah, you can get that anytime, man. We don't put a limit on it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how would if you wanted to get the hand drawn wrap, you want to sign up for the email mailing list, where would you go to sign up? Is that it I saw down here at the bottom?
No, there's no way to get it now. You had to sign up before the campaign.
Yeah, that was the pre-launch. Yeah.
Yeah, the pre-launch.
Okay, yeah. So what we're saying is that if you got that information and went out on June 4th, if you got that information and you still have it, you still can use it anytime while the campaign was live. So you didn't have to you know how some people set limits like, oh, you only have 1 week, before, this expires. And we're like, no, we want to give people ample enough opportunity to use that secret perk, to use that link. So,
yeah, if you signed up for it, you got it. It's not some kind of just try to get you to hurry up and buy in the first week or anything like that. When you get your funds together and you want to buy the book, and you've got that information, you can buy the book. I misunderstood. I thought you were saying you could still get it, and I was like, that's just contradictory to what we just said.
But, no.
No, what she's saying is you can still go out there and order it if you want, if you got that email still. So
if you got that email, okay, yeah. All right, guys. Any last words before we go?
buy our book, Skits the Sun Book 1. It's going to be epic. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be everything that you want out of a comic book plus more. So go get it.
Yes, and thank you guys so much so far. What we've got, we're closer to our stretch goals as well, and we just thank everyone for their platforms. We really appreciate everyone for allowing us to talk about Skits and to go over what we have in store. You can always find us on YouTube at Skits Comic. Michael does his skits in the AM or skits in the afternoon or at night, depending on what he wants to do. Where he's drawing pages from the actual book. So you're actually getting that intel, right before your eyes, and it's live. I still have my come get some. So I'm still doing that. So anyone that wants to come on and promote their books, they can do that as well. And you can find us on Twitter at Skits Comic, me at Krishina J, and of course at come_get_some_2. So you can always find us there.
All right, guys. I appreciate you coming on. I'm Jerry. You find me at Twitter, on Twitter at Jerry Unbound, and I'm Every Matter will be coming out probably sometimes. The pre-campaign, the sign up for the email will be coming out in August. So go buy Skits. It's some of the best art I've seen. I've done several interviews, and all the art in this community has been great. Skits the Sun is no exception. It's some of the best art I've seen come across. I really like that style, and I'm sure you do too. So go back it. Don't let this pass away. Don't let it end before you get your book. Have a great night. May all your dreams come true and your imagination run wild. And I will catch you next time.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thanks, Jerry.